enjoy doing her foot thingy? Anyway, hello and welcome back. I know you. She's cutting up in my nose is already. Yeah. Stand down. Oh, I got mail. To the nearest mail moogle we go. Bleh. Bleh. Yeah. After I got done recording last time, I started the upload for the first episode and went to sleep. First episode's out now, but you will notice that it is not edited at all, not even have blurs. The reason for that is when I went to try to edit with YouTube's editor, it didn't want to work. And what I mean it didn't want to work, I sat there and it decided, oh, you've added blur. You've added it. That's it. It didn't blur anything. It just said I added it. Let me just check the recording. No, I want the recording, not to minimize recording. Okay, take all. And a piece of the arc with magically brings the advanced texture forms machines to life. She's not alone, she's following you. Yeah, I went to bed, woke up, gave Pandora her candies, and then got to recording. Yeah, I already took my medicine before I went to bed, so I don't need to take it now. The medicine that I use. Actually, how many plates do we have? We still only have 20. What are we going to do? I also haven't gone through my glamour plates in so long, I am very confused at what I'm looking at. Huh? Oh, okay. Oh, I see. It's this part that's the chocobo. Right underneath the brush. Yep. In you go. Now with all that put away. I got a Pandora behind me now. Did I even start the timer? No. That just shows you how much of awake I am. Then again, I guess that doesn't change much. Awake or not, I'm very forgetful. I'll get to that one eventually. I do have it, but it's going to take a while. It's the corn servant. Oh, good to see you. Keeping your belly full throughout your adventure, I hope. A most terrible stomach-grumbling drew me to this place, but I am afraid I cannot yet make my presence known to the people here. Might I beg of your assistance? It is an otherwise strapping one-ton man in desire and dire need of subsistence. If you could follow me. I can't do the gold, son. I'll give it to justice right now. It is me, the corn servant. All this phlegm in the throat. Do you feel it, that foul wind sweeping across the wilds stings like this pain in my stomach every time I think about what I did. All I want was to get away from home and get out of inheriting that damn farm. Thought if I could find ceruleum out here, I would strike it rich. So I used every pal to my name to buy mining equipment. And I started digging day in and day out, hoping to find something, anything to recoup what I've lost. All I found since comes here to disappoint me. Oh dear, stomach is gripping by deepest despair when he needs something to rekindle the flame of hope in his belly that should serve gone roasted with the fiery passion that burns in my bosom. Roasted corn, that takes me back. Ma used to cook this stuff all the time. God, I was such a horrible kid. Never listened, always complained. But she loved me anyway. If anything happened to me out here, I don't want to think about it. I should go home and apologize. Maybe she'd see about working those corn crops.
Thank goodness we arrived when you did. The roasted concept will help remedy what ails him. So, let's Lieutenant Chuck his frustration may have left to anger he could unleash on others, himself or others. With a full belly, however, he had the clarity of mind to remember what matters most to him, his family. The rumbling of bellies has ceased here in Hatsui, and so believe it is time I took my leave. Take care, my friend. Stay salty.
We're not doing yours yet.
Stay salty, my friends. Stay butter.
Oh, looks like we're going to be sitting here anyway. That's what I thought, nothing close by. I guess we could see the new mount. Mount. Great, we're in combat! Somebody please help. Me and my brother were cloud fishing, and we were attacked by a... Oh yeah. He told me to run, so I did, but he stayed behind to fight it. He's still down by the cliffs, and if you hurry, you'll make it in time. You'll help him, won't you? Welcome, traveler. I wonder if you're out exploring, you might be able to do me a small favor. There's a cave network nearby where my daughter has gone to offer her prayers, but she's forgotten the all-important fish oil candle. I would take it to her myself if it wasn't for this terrible pain in my foot. Oh, it hurts. Fierce it does. Do you think you could give her this candle from me? Thank you. If you hadn't turned up when you did, I'd be a goner. For sure. I better go, let my sister know. I'm alright. Besides, it ain't safe here, so I suggest you head back to town as well. Maybe I'll see you there. Something I can help you with. Made from a combination of fish oil and aromatic herbs, it has a distinctive yet not unpleasant aroma. You came all this way to deliver this. I'm awful grateful to you and to my ma for realizing I'd forgotten to bring a candle. You see, these caverns are sacred ground where we come to pray to our ancestors and the more recently deceased. These flames provide the living a way to communicate with the dead. Thanks to you, I can light a candle of my own and say a little prayer. Since you're here, maybe you could stand before the flames and offer a few words to your departed loved ones. It doesn't matter where you're from, all spirits are welcome here, living or dead. And mine's already departed. We already went to the afterlife and saw them off. Good to see you again. So my sister is the one who sent you to rescue me. Looks like I owe my life to both of you. Truth be told, Yaksha is the last thing I expect to see. Never mind being attacked by one. They must have expanded their territory or something. So I better stay away from the cliffs tops for a while. That's it. We make our living off the creatures we catch there. So we can't give up on cloud fishing altogether. I suppose the nearest safe spot would be somewhere near the bridge. Dawntrail, which is kind of far from here. Still better than no fishing at all. Speaking of which, it is time to go snag us some more fish. Thank you, friend. Stay safe out there. You hear? Go back, I'm guessing we're able to find my daughter, no doubt in her usual spot. She never was one to do things the easy way. You know, as much of a stickler for tradition as she is, she always works for the railroad company. She actually works for the railroad company. Still, I got to hand it to her. She manages to work together towards a promising future without losing sight of her roots. I'm sure and proud of her. But don't tell her I said that, will you? Wouldn't want her getting a big head or nothing. Well, I say me and that daughter of mine have taken up enough of your time, but it was awful nice meeting you. Thanks a million for helping us out. Yeah, I thought about what I was going to name this series when I uploaded the video, and I thought about just, I'll just put Dawntrail, and then I thought, oh, maybe I should put MSQ. And then I went like, I'm doing more than the MSQ here. So that doesn't fit. So I decided, you wanna know what, I'll just put Dawntrail. But I am planning on doing Final Fantasy IX eventually. It's probably gonna be later this year or next year. Sorry to be a bother, but will you be passing through anytime soon? My pa lives over that way, and I've been meaning to pay him a visit. This job keeps him busy, a little too busy. Anyway, I was hoping you could tell him for me. From me, I'm doing fine and working hard, and let me know if there's anything you need. His name is Okepi, and he works down at the kilns. I hate to impose, but I really be real grateful if you could do me this favor. Time to head back south. Can I help you, stranger? The boy sent you all the way here to tell me that. I was just thinking of going to check up on him myself, so it looks like you saved me a trip. Well, it's good to know he's got steady work. He ain't been fired anyway, so he must be doing something right. You know, we always eager to learn new ways of doing things, which is why my son threw himself into the cerulean business. Thing is, for those of us still living here, upholding our traditions, we worry that youngins like him are pushing themselves too hard to keep up with all the newfangled technology. I hope he's getting enough rest and eating right. Gives me an idea. I hate to burden you any further, but do you reckon you could take this food to my boy? I reckon a belly full of pemmican will help him good than a lecture from his old man. They went to fan the blue magic, went the blue magic. Where's the blue magic? Give me my blue magic. I guess when we're flying, I could see the new design of the map. Chocobos. Oh, you're back. Did you meet my pa? Containing dried meat and fruit, pemmican has long been a staple of cuisine and Dawntrail cuisine. He sent me back here to deliver this, as if I hadn't asked enough of you already. It's pemmican. Why I used to practically live on this stuff back in this will give me enough strength for a whole day's work, and maybe another day after that. Can't tell you how much I appreciate all you've done for me. My eyebrow is itchy. Itchy brow. Brow of itchiness. I granted you the sweater of itchiness. Say, aren't you the one who's was up stirring up a fuss in town not long ago? I could use a capable hand like yours if you're willing to be, if you be willing to lend it. The name Tozao. I'm not from around here, truth be told. I live in Lutowaza, but I'm here visiting my grandson. I was expecting to see him out for so long, but then I spied him dealing with some unsavory looking man, exchanging unusually large sums of money. I confronted him about what I saw, but he'll say a little more than it's just a misunderstanding, then grumbled as he changes the subject. I realize this is sudden. Could you see if there's anything to be done to him to help him? He's in trouble, I just know it. Weight's been lifted off my heart. Bless you, sir. His name is Zekawa. Last I saw him, he was heading inside this here saloon. The Tanawati with a red cap pulled down over his face to cover those bruises, most like. Can't miss him. A new face in town. Well, what can I do for you? Thinks I'm in trouble, does he? There he goes, jumping to conclusions as usual. I thought it'd be less of a hassle if I didn't tell him. Truth is, I've been helping other folk in town with their money troubles. Matter of fact, the man you saw leaving just a while ago is one of my clients. I should probably explain from the beginning. My work involves loaning guild to folks here having trouble with coin for one reason or another. There's a reason I don't lend them Pell, but I'll get to that in a moment. My family lived here long before there was ever a town here, but then people moved in and they started expanding. Before long, Kamaka's family approached us about selling our land. It was about the time when trade overseas was gaining in popularity. I had it on good authority that Gil was on its way to become common currency here in the wilds, so I decided to sell the land for Gil and use those funds to start my business. Sure enough, everything went as expected, and the business is starting to do well. It's not without its troubles, seeing as money is involved, but I never lend to any unsavory types. The whole point of me keeping quiet was so I wouldn't make him worry. Seems my silence only made things worse. If he found himself in a real tight corner once. Gil's what got him there, and now he wants nothing to do with the stuff. When I told him about my idea to sell the land, the moment Gil came out of my mouth, his whole mood turned sour. He said he put everything in my name, and whatever happens after that is on me. It's not exactly easy to bring up my work when it involves that one thing he seems to hate more than anything. But maybe it's time I change that. This job does more than just put food on the table. I'm able to help people, help this town. But how do I get him to see that? I got it. You're going to come and watch me work. Grandpa won't hear anything I have to say if it involves Gil, but he might come around to a first-hand account from you. So come and see what good my work does for that's why and how I help the people here. He did send you here to help me, didn't he? I promise to make it worth your while. Right then, before we get started, I should probably know who it is I'm working with. Zemin. Zemin, our first job is to go and see a miner named Wakawaz. He had a pretty bad accident on the job a while back. He had no money for treatment or much of anything, really, so I loaned him the gil he needed to keep on his feet. But now it's well past his returns, what he owes, and he hasn't said a word. There's been time enough for him to not only return back to work, but also receive his wages, several times in fact. He usually comes here in town when he's not working, and his shifts end soon, maybe just outside of town. If we're lucky, we'll catch him just as he arrives. Then we find out he died. Annabelle will get to you in the next episode, probably. Depends how long this quest chain goes. Here for the money. I was going to pay honest. I just mixed up the dates, so can't we settle this later? I'm busy. I know you're lying, Wakwas, and you're not going anywhere until you can look me in the eye and tell me what you're late paying me back. He's seriously hiding something, but I'm not looking to start trouble. I don't suppose there's anything you could do persuade him. Maybe a little flex to show him we're serious. I didn't know that was an emote. It's the Manderville. Egads, look at those arms and those absolutely ripped neck muscles. Fine, fine, just put all of that away. It's all here, and with interest, if you had the money, why go through all the trouble of avoiding me? When I was still in the mend, my lady friend took real care of me. See, I wanted to buy her something fancy to thank her, and well, I understand, really, I do, but if you really want to make her happy, you need to get your life together. I'm willing to give you a loan one last time, but we're going to have a long talk about how to manage your savings first. You're right, what good am I to her if I'm out on the street without a gill or even a pal to my name? I'll give it some thought, and we can talk later. That's right, you can see my neck muscles through the thing on my neck. I can't blame him for wanting to show his appreciation to a loved one, but it's no excuse to get carried away with his spending. So what do you think of my job? The money I loaned him paid for his treatment and supported him through his recovery. That has to count for something, right? Well, there's always our next client. When you're ready, we can be on our way. Let's get back to it then. I should warn you, the next client I had in mind may be something of a hassle. He ran off in the middle of the night, and I hadn't seen hide nor hair of him since. Luckily for us, I heard from an acquaintance of mine that someone fitting his description seen lurking around the Dawntrail Skygate. We're looking for a minstrel named Zemshape. Hitsuro, with black hair and the same age as me. Surprisingly shy. I'll meet you there. Who are you? Yes, I'm Zemship, but what do you want with me? Found him. Nice work, Zedman. What? What are you doing here? Looking for your word around town was that you were in a hurry to leave to Dawntrail, but I'm afraid I can't let you leave just yet. You may not look it, but Dawntrail is quite the popular minstrel, and Hatsui, or at least he was. It's been what feels like an age since last he wrote a song, and you can only make so much singing the same old tune day in and day out. So it came to me for help, and I gladly offered him a loan. It should have been enough to help him get by until inspiration struck. But it hasn't, and with no money to pay you back, I panicked. Maybe if I sold my instruments, Those instruments are your livelihood. I can never ask you to do such a thing. Here, give me your hand. This is but I've yet to return what I already owe. What you need to do, meet new people, see new places, experience more of the world than just Hatsui. A minstrel's inspiration doesn't just come from thin air, right? You're not wrong. All I could think about was how my songs weren't good enough anymore. How everyone was disappointed in me. My heart was so full with fear and anxiety, I guess there was no room left for music. So take that money and go to Dawntrail. And for the next month, I want you to travel, see everything there is to see, find your muse, and bring back the ship we all know and love. Thank you, Zoekio. I won't let this guild go to waste, I swear it. What instrument does he play? The knife! What do you think? A job well done, what do you say? What did you expect me to do? I'm not a monster. Besides, I see this as more of an investment for the future. There's still one last client left on my list. One more opportunity for you to learn about my work. Ready? Good. We're off to see a young dancer by the name Twas Me. She's pretty famous in Hatsui, with fans all across Shaloni. Was a real shame when she had to quit on account of being so sick. The medicine she needed was expensive, to say the least, but I footed the bill. She reached out to me not long ago, and the good news is that she's not only fully recovered, but looking to start dancing again. There's going to be a comeback performance soon, but she's asked me to stop by and discuss something beforehand. Can't imagine what, though. There's still plenty of time before she needs to make her first payment. In any case, let's go and pay her a visit. So great to see you. Oh, and you brought a friend. Well, let me get right to the point. I want you to help promote my upcoming show, and I want you to do it with dancing. Dancing? You can't be serious. I'm far more exciting alternative to stand idly passing around flyers, surely. And I've seen how well you can dance after you had a few drinks at the saloon. All the proceeds will go towards repaying my debt to you with interest. So the more people there are in attendance, the sooner you can be repaid in full. And your friend here, he's not from Dawntrail, is he? I've no doubt he knows a step or two that will draw the eyes of passerbys. So what do you say? Well, friend, I hope you're wearing your dancing shoes. We must go and dance for the good folk of Hatsui. Let's go and garner what interest we can show in the show, and meet here afterwards. Now I'm curious, what's the least played class? So do I need to go upstairs? Ah! The lag!
I dance for you.
Some fancy footwork you got there reminds me of Talmezi. Comeback show, really? No time for drinking then. We best get ready for the show. You're content, but let me dance for you. Goodness, what did I do to deserve this performance? The comeback performance of a famed dancer. I've never seen one of these shows before, but it would make me for a wonderful story to share when I return home. I'll have to stop by and see it. Also, don't leave the town. There's a powerful monster outside. Dawntrail, not sure what we did to deserve this entertainment, but thank you. Oh, I see. I heard she retired after falling ill, but you say she's back in playing a performance? Certainly not what to miss it. Yeah, to get the mount that I want, I have to go and there's one mount that you can only get for hunting down all the S ranks and all the A ranks. I don't remember which mount it is though, but as you can see, a lot of people are on their way to it. Oh, he was shanked. She's drawn quite a crowd even after all this time. Her fans adore her. I may have gotten a little carried away with my dancing, but people seem to enjoy it, which hopefully means more people are attending the show. Seeing as we have time before the end of her show, now might be a good time to tell you more about how I started this business. I said my grandpa found himself in a tight corner once because of Gil. That was a long time ago, before selling our land, before I was even born. Even when Hatsui was little more than a sparse collection of shops, it still saw its fair share of tradesmen passing through. My father and grandpa made their living catching and selling game to them for Pell. And one day, while trying to sell more game, a merchant told them that Gil would soon become the currency of choice, and Shironi that they'd be better off exchanging all their Pell for Gil while they were still time. Unable to see through the lies, they played into the scheme, draining away all their hard-earned Pell at horrible rates. With only a paltry sum of Gil left to their name, they were at a loss when they met the woman who will eventually become my mother. She was deeply moved by their plight, and she lent them the money she has been saving to start a new life in Torol. You can't put a price on such an act of selfishness, which is why when they learned what the savings were for, they opened their home to her until they could pay their debt, The three began a new life together. Years passed, and by the time the debt had been repaid, my parents had already fallen in love. It's a story my mother told me often as a child before bed, before they passed away. If not for my mother's kindness, I wouldn't be here, and all I've ever wanted was to follow in her footsteps. That's why I sold our land and started my business. Assuming he'll stop to listen, that's where you come in. I'll imagine it won't be much longer before Twazi is finished. I got more spaghetti! There. Seems it'll be a while longer, so you don't have to wait here with me for Tomezi. But besides, it isn't about time you return to speak to my grandfather. I think by now you've seen all there is to see of my work. I'm fairly sure I saw him over near the saloon, so go ahead and give him your honest thoughts about my work. You're back. Tell me, true traveler, what sort of trouble has my grandson been up to? Donating loans and swindling people out of their pal, I'm sure. Gosh, I thought we raised him better than that. Two of the gentlest souls I've ever known, and you say he means to follow in their footsteps? You said he's over at the dance hall, right? I've made up my mind. I need to see what's become of my grandson with my own eyes. I need to know he's alright. It should be fine if I observe from a distance, of course. These old bones don't move as fast as they used to. You go on ahead. I'll be right behind you. Shows a huge success thanks to no small part to your help, here as promised. This is far more than what we agreed. I can't accept this. Oh, don't be silly. I only wish that I had more to offer. I could never have hoped to afford that medicine from Terrell, and I had made peace with the consequences of that, grim though that may sound. But you wouldn't hear it. You loaned me the money that I need for treatment, and here I am, taking this stage again. A dream come true in every sense of the word. You've given me a second chance at life, and for that, I'll be forever grateful. I think I've seen enough. Grandpa, what are you doing here? I wish to see what an inspiring individual my grandson's become, and thanks to the two of you, my heart is at ease. I carried so much resentment for those moneylenders. I assumed that the worst when I heard about your job. I was blind to the good you could do and the people you could help, like your mother helped me and your father once upon a time. You reached out a hand to those who find themselves on the brink of ruin, and with the greatest of care, you pull them back. I suppose I do. But I'm sorry I didn't talk to you sooner. I was convinced you'd be cross with me and didn't know how to breach the topic without upsetting you. Always so considerate, this town could stand to see a little more of that. I'd like to hear more about your job, if that's alright, after you finish work for the day, of course. Well, our business here is finished, so don't let me keep you. Go and put that extra gil I gave you to good use at the saloon. You're determined to see me keep it, aren't you? Well, I suppose Grandpa and I have a lot of catching up to do. You go on ahead to the saloon. I need to speak with Zedman for just a moment. Thank you again for all your help. Thank you again for all your help. I was more than a little shocked to see you here with Grandpa. But I'm glad we're finally here to talk. I owe a great debt, Zedman, and I'll do my damnedest to try and repay it. Someday, if you'll ever find yourself having trouble with coin, I hope you'll think to call on me. No, I won't. Anyway, with that, I'll see you all in the next.